YouTube, it's your boy TriniFX here, back with trading recap. Alright guys, today's the last day of the month. It's a Friday, and I just want to quickly go over price action today. Today was a good day. We ended the week beautifully. It was slightly a difficult month for me coming down to the end, but we still managed to be green on the week, on the month. And that's all we could ask, guys. We come to the markets every day, having our bias, anticipating where we believe price will go, and then we have to trade what we get. So, jumping into today's recap, we could see yesterday we just pumped higher yesterday, and Asia continued with the momentum to the upside. So I did mark off my higher time frame fair value gaps. We had this fair value gap above here, and then we had this buy side liquidity that I was looking to see if price would get to. Seeing midnight opened, and we basically accumulated. However, we were respecting this BISI here, so I was anticipating a move higher, and then we could probably go lower. So jumping into my 15-minute time frame, let's take a look at what price action did on market open. So we could, if we look at it and we zoom out, we can see this is the accumulation. So we would have expected, if we were going higher, to probably be the manipulation leg and then the distribution, or vice versa. So I marked off my pools of liquidity. If we were going lower, we could have targeted, but this is the high that I was going for initially. So getting into my 1 minute time frame, the initial trade I took was the long, so I traded the manipulation higher, targeting this buy side here. However, I knew we had to get through this 1 hour fair value gap, and well, we could see we never got to that high at this point in time. So my thought process is, we opened up, we traded lower, tapping back into this 1 minute fair value gap, and I was looking to the left. We had this SIBI here that price reacted off of and traded lower. So once we got above that SIBI, this was my shift in market structure here. We inversed this SIBI, and as we traded higher, once the candle closed, guys, I entered. I put my stop below the wick of this candle, which was also below the 1 minute BISI, and I was targeting here, but once we got 1-to-1, guys, I exited the trade. So I got my piece of the pie, and we could see price traded into that 1 hour. We couldn't quite get to that buy side liquidity. We'll probably get to it later today or next week. So this was my first trade. So my second trade, guys, when I saw price react in this V-shaped recovery, I was monitoring price. We inversed all these gaps here. We hit this 1 minute, fair value gap, and I dropped to my 30-second chart to see if I could have refined an entry even more. And I recorded this short so you all could check out my short recording, and you could see this live in action. So we traded up into this 1 minute SIBI. So it's not a SIBI on a 30-second, but on a 1 minute it is a SIBI. And as we traded lower, we traded back into this 30-second fair value gap. On the close of that candle, that's where I went short. And we had this sell side liquidity here. And if I scrub across, let me go back to a 1 minute time frame. Let's go to a 5. We had this pool of liquidity here as well. So those are my pools of liquidity. We also had this 4 hour BISI below us. So all those were the draws on liquidity for the short. And if we did treat this as the manipulation leg, then we could have anticipated that this would have been the distribution. So I went short, took partials along the way as we inversed these BISIs on the left side of the curve. I trailed my stop taking partials, and it stopped me out on this retracement here once it traded above this 1 minute. Is it a 1 minute? Actually, it was a 30-second SIBI, and that's where I got out. And that's the two trades I took today, guys. Pretty simple manipulation trade, and then we traded the distribution. So, guys, let me know how your week went. You know, if it was a profitable week, if you're in the green, if you're in the red. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. As I know, I go through my journey. I'm sharing with you all the wins, the losses, the break evens. Um, One thing I want to say, guys, in trading, we have to preserve our mental capital. Psychology is key. You can have the best strategy in the world. You can be able to read price. If you cannot control your emotions, you're not going to make it. All right. So stick to your rules. Always stick to your rules. No matter what happens after. I could have said, oh my goodness, I could have held and collected more. But take your piece of the pie and move to the sidelines, back test, see all the moves that you could have caught. So it just re-emphasizes that how you view price is correct. So guys, that's it. Talk to you again next week. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care. Bye bye.